learning section, GameOfMoments GOM. Hope you all are fine, staying safe, staying home, taking care of yourself. So today we'll learn about what is vector graphics and what is raster graphics. So we've been listening to all these discussions and thinking a lot of that, but there is a major difference between these two. So we'll go step by step. I'll first tell you what is vector graphics, what is raster graphics, then we'll tell you the difference between them, so you can take that learning and put it into your work, print media, web, which like vector graphics should be used for web or for print, or which one to be used for web graphics, or which one to be used for printing. So I'll tell you all these things and we'll study about them. Let's start.
Okay, so before we even begin with what vector graphics and raster graphics are, there are these two terms, basic terms that we should understand. First is bitmap. So in computer graphics, a bitmap is a mapping from some domain to bits, that is 0 and 1, two values that basically make an image. Okay, so that is also called a bit array or bitmap index. So whatever in layman terms, there are some digits 1 and 0, and a combination of those digits creates an image, which is bitmap. Okay, so the more general term pixmap refers to a map of pixels. So what is pixel, that we'll understand next. Pixel is basically, in computer graphics, it is a dot. A picture element is a physical point in a picture, basically a square box. This square box, this is 1 pixel. This one square box is 1 pixel. So a pixel is simply the smallest addressable element of a picture represented on a screen. The selfie that you click with your mobile phone is also an example of a raster image. Okay, and a image is basically made up of a collection of pixels, which then referred as a bitmap. So this one box is a pixel, and this complete collection of those pixels is a bitmap. Hope I made myself clear here. If you still have any doubts or any questions, you can comment and I will reply on that. Going to the next thing, now we come to what is raster graphics and what is vector graphics. So raster images use bitmaps to store information. This means a large file needs a larger bitmap. Okay, larger bitmap means a larger combination of two values, that is 0 and 1. So the larger the image, the more disk space the image file will take up. For example, an image having dimensions of 640 into 480 image requires information to be stored for 3,07,200 pixels. So it's quite a lot. And if we'll go above that, it will eventually increase. So image formats like JPG and GIF are common compressed image formats. So there is one hidden thing here. When these images get created, then there is one level of compression is already there, which is hidden. Now, coming to scaling down of raster images is like, if you will scale it down, it will either get pixelated or simply blurred, or it will not be that edgy, sharp look. That won't come. So, for scalable graphics are vector graphics. That is why raster graphics cannot be used when these needs to be scaled down, especially. So these are the file extensions are .bmp, TIFF, GIF, and JPG. Now coming to vector graphics, how do the vector graphics get created? So vector graphics get created with sequential commands or some statements, mathematical statements or programs. So in layman language, some coding create these 2D or 3D environments, shapes, lines, which creates these vector graphics. So vector graphics are best for printing, since it is composed of a series of those coded, mathematically coded curves. So as a result, vector graphics print crisply even when they are enlarged. So vector graphics are those, if you will see in websites also, people usually use SVGs. So if you have an SVG, you can increase it or decrease it, it will be crisp. Anyways, it will be always, have that crisp edge. Okay, these file extensions are SVG, EPS, PDF, AI, DXF. All these can be scaled down, used for printing, mainly for printing, but SVG also being used for web also, because now we have these different devices. So we are using SVGs to have that compatibility between all the devices. Coming to the differences between vector and raster graphics. So the main difference between vector and raster graphics is that raster graphics are composed of pixels, these small boxes, while vector graphics are composed of paths, curves, mathematically created curves, shapes. So here are a couple of differences between raster and vector graphics. You can go through, take a screenshot of this, pause here and read all these. But mainly I will tell you, raster graphics are costless, whether vector graphics are cost a bit more than the raster graphics, because here there will be some mathematical calculations, codings to create each and every curve. Raster graphics occupy a lot more space, disk space, as compared to the vectors. Raster file extensions are BMP, TIFF, GIF, JPEG. Vector file extensions are SVG, EPS, PDF, AI. Raster graphics cannot be scaled. Vector graphics are free to scale up or down without losing their quality. Here are some examples of raster versus vector. So you can see here we have these pixels. This is raster. This is vector. This we have already seen. This smooth blue guy is vector, when this red guy is raster. These painting with pixels is this is painting with pixels, raster. This is painting with vectors with pen tool. This is with brush. So this is the difference between raster and vector. I hope I made myself very clear discussing these technically and image wise also. If you have any questions, any doubts, you can comment or mail and I will revert. Thank you.